Hi, I'm John Kurtz and this is my wife Shirley, and we recently built a house in Alabama. We put lots of sliding doors and windows in to take advantage of the surrounding views. One of the issues we deal with is the hot summer sun as it crosses across our house. A lot of that sunshine comes in through our sliding doors and causes a lot of extra heat. So we went to the local hardware store and found that they would customize a kit for us for about $70 that we could install. That was more than we wanted to pay. 6 openings times 70 was $420. We went to a local superstore and found this kit for $20. It's a Mainstays kit and covers a 78 by 84 opening. That's the rough measurements. Now what we have to do is customize this kit in order to fit our particular opening. And we want to put this kit inside the opening, so that's what this video is going to be about. When you open the package, make sure that the main rail is not bent. The metal is not very thick and it will bend if during its shipping it was bumped. So I'm going to visually inspect and see if there's any significant damage. This one's not great. 4 out of the 6 that we got were good. 1 was absolutely bad and this one is marginal. Also check to make sure that the railing will slide and none of these sliders will drop out. Okay, next we'll begin to modify this track so that it will fit in our window opening. As you can see, this rail is wider than the opening on our window, on our sliding door. And so we're going to shorten it so that it fits inside this opening. And you can see we need to take about 8 inches off of the length in order to make it fit in our sliding door. This is the hardware box. It has the mounting pieces, and when we open it up we find 3 mounting brackets and 3 clips that are going to be the guards in order to cover up the hardware, and then a pack of screws. This is the bracket that is shipped with the package, and we're only going to use part of it. So I'm going to take the screw and these washer and bolt out, and this is the remaining part that we're going to use. It's going to go up against the underside of our door opening like that, and we'll screw it up through that hole. We're going to measure in from the corner 3 inches and make a mark. Then we're going to measure about 1 3/4 in and make another mark, and then make a cross point. That's where we're going to screw up into the door opening. So again, on this side, 3 inches in, make a mark, and then come 1 3/4 inches in and make a cross mark. Here in the middle, come to approximate middle and measure in 1 3/4 inches and make our mark. Okay, with our clip and the screw, and I have a wire cordless here, I'm going to go right up to that point, straighten it out, and we're done on that one. We'll go to the next 2. And here's our last one. Now we're ready to modify the rail and get it ready to hang up there. Now we're going to measure the opening to our door to see how long we need to make the rail. And in this particular one, it works out the opening is 70 inches and 3/4 of an inch. Okay, now we want to take a 1/4 inch off of that length, and so that'll leave us with 70.5 inches. That way we'll be sure to get the railing inside the opening once it's all cut. If you'll look at this railing kit, this is the end that's the sliders gather up to, and so that's the part that we want to shorten. And so I'm going to measure from the other end 70.5 inches, and that's going to be our place where we're going to cut the railing. So I mark 70.5, and then I'm going to take my square and square around the tube and mark the whole way around. Okay, and that includes the bottom side and the other side. Okay, now what we also have to do is realize that by shortening the length of the railing, we're going to have to take some of these clips off. Okay, the amount that we're taking off is 7.5 inches. Each of these sliders, when they slide apart, is about 3 inches apart. And so we're going to take 3 of those out in order to not have too many of the sliders bundled up when it's fully extended. In order to do that, we're going to have to take the end off. Okay, so we flip our railing over and you can see the screw that's holding the end cap in. Just undo that screw, and when you undo that screw, we'll be able to take the end cap out by just pressing on the end. Set that aside. There is a little plastic spacer which keeps this last sliding part to the right distance from the end. And if we pull that out of the mechanism, we can take that and you can see it comes right off. What we need to do next is take this little black clip off of the rod and set that aside. That keeps this last slider from going too far into the rail. Now we don't need 3 of these, and so we're going to cut 3 of them off. So I'll slide those off and we'll do a cut. Okay, so let's cut this plastic strip, and that dropped off 3 of the sliders, and we want to make sure that we get this last little piece of strap off also. Discard that. Now we're ready to go and cut the, we got to slide this back on, but cut the whole rail, and we also want to cut the rod. And so we have to mark the rod also very close, maybe an 1/8 inch less than our mark for cutting the rail. Okay, here we want to mark the rod just a little shorter than the rest of the rail. So I'm going to mark with a pencil across that rod, and that'll give me an indication where to cut it.